I kept waiting for new information, and then stuff happens, and as such, we are about halfway through the sets, and this video has not been put out, despite really, I only needed like maybe 2 weeks. But now that the new patch is up, I'll just do it now. I mean, for the most part, people have I've generally figured out most of the artifacts, but there's little, not everything is completely solved, and uh, people in general are still afraid to take artifacts. So let's go over, how to play with each of them. I'm gonna go in alphabetical order. I'm just gonna do a rough guide. I mean, this is just footage, and I'll edit it down later to be more digestible. So we'll start off with Anima Visage. It's a generic tank item. It's good on most frontliners. Uh, like it's a generically good item. You can play it in any comp. You don't have to force anything. I would say the best user is probably gonna be like Nasus or maybe Tarek. Like, okay, it's good on people with a lot of health and or shielders, cause people like you're not regenning if you're over healing. So champions that heal, I mean, I guess for conch shields. Uh, the champions that heal might not get as much value as the regen, whereas if you have the shield up, you're not healing, so having the health regen is a little bit more valuable. But it's just generically good on whatever frontliner. I think the best user is probably Nessus, just because his cast gives him a lot of extra health for free, and he has Shapeshifter, so he gets more benefits than like others immediately. So how to play Nessus? I mean, there's a lot of different comps right now. You just play the flex board thing with this and play like Rider or Shapeshifter. You have this thing and then Preserver, you get like that. How many units? Too many units? Probably, yeah. Well, it's fine. Yeah, shove that. So something like this. Like it's just a generic version of the comp. Uh, but you can play this in pretty much any comp, and this is like a good enough item to be on your main tank in pretty much any comp. So it's like marginally better. It's like 2/3 of a death. Actually, this was nerfed, so now it's like it's just straight up better. Yeah, that's like, okay. Let's just say 3/4 of a declaw and 3/4 of a war monks. Pretty good. And then to complement Anno Visage, you're just looking for just other stats. It doesn't really matter. Uh, Gargoyle is fine. You don't need more healing. You can go more healing with Redemption, but like you don't need it. This is fine. Can go this. Like you're not getting that much MR, so you can go more MR, but just kind of depends. Underrated items like this or this. These two items are both really underrated. On specifically on Nessus, because Nessus's first cast is his most important. This scales with his extra health, and it's another shield, and then this just makes him cast more, but this doesn't matter that much with Anima Visage. But I don't know what Trubus is. Maybe something like this. I don't know. But yeah, Anima Visage. People are gonna take this because it's super easy to play. So would highly encourage it. Flighting Jewel, pretty much this. You can place on this, but you can't reliably hit that, so I wouldn't rely on it. Uh, there's other okay users like these things. Uh, but I'd only put it on these two if you're playing like a lot of Shapeshifter and you have other frontliners. If you're playing these and they're your main tank or your main frontline, I would not advise that. It's fine on Katarina. Uh, in most cases, you're gonna play around Karma. It's just the easiest, and she is the best user, by a decent margin. Not that much better than Nora, but like I said, you can't really play around Nora. But yeah, Karma is a very, very good user of it. And another thing, in the early game, you can use Cat as an item holder. It kind of fits in the comp that you're gonna play Karma in. The Karma comp is very similar to the previous. Like it's just what people have been playing, or pretty much this. Pretty much what I just showed. You can look at the Tier 2 Academy version. I don't know what they have. This sounds good to me. Yep. Play all the preservers. Plus Fiora Gwen, Briar. They put Milio, but don't know if that's correct. It's probably something like this. But like this is just it's the same thing. But like the point is, what do you play on Karma? I think with Blighting Jewel, the main difference, like it is a damage item and a mana item, but the main difference is that blue buff is much more valuable than the other two because you're you're like it actually like matters that your max mana is lowered. Whereas if you overcap, like you're not gonna necessarily attack much. In a lot of cases, you're not even gonna attack, so Shojin doesn't even have that much value. You're just getting carried by Blighting Jewel. And then same thing for adaptive. Or like you're getting the extra mana, but like it doesn't make that much of a difference. Whereas blue buff actually makes Blighting Jewel like better. And then last item you just red buff. But yeah, this is just replaces the flex slot. Like your karma's just the same otherwise. And if you have this, like I said, before you hit the board, play this thing. I don't know what your level 6 board is gonna be, but like I don't know. You have like random thing. You could put just whatever. Like honestly, just put all your just put all your karma items on cats. Like it doesn't really matter. You find one karma, you sell it. One karma, and you're stable. Uh, so like it doesn't really matter. That's about it. The Nora version, I mean, you just play around. It's probably just Portal or Mage. It doesn't really make a difference. It's hard. Like you're not reliably gonna hit a Nora early. If you get a Light Angel late game, you and you're playing an AP comp, you could put Nora into the comp even if she doesn't belong. Like just a random Nora with Blight Angel will do a lot of damage. You just again like Karma, uh, throw in your anti-heal plus something else. On Nora, this is like a little better, especially with Blight Angel, but like yeah. And then back to the other tech with Shyvana Swain. You want to play this with more Shapeshifter if you're gonna put it on them as like a carry unit or this thing. Sure. Let's just say this is your backline. Let's say you're rolling on 6, so your board is actually like this. However, your main, I mean, Nico's probably the best main tank, so you put like random tank items on her. And then you can just put it on either Shyvana or Swain. I mean, Shyvana is if you're not likely to put it on Swain because like uh there's the Ladok short, and he talked about it. Shiv is gonna get mana after first cast, that doesn't really matter, but she shreds the whole AoE or the front lane, which is really good with like this. But Swain casting more also helps, and he kind of does the same thing. He just doesn't move while he's doing it. But it would be a very great help to Cassio, who's a pretty good frontline destroyer. And like these units don't use Blood Angel well, so you can force this comp by playing it like that. And then as for items for this comp, I'm not entirely sure what the new Cassio items are. I don't know if it's Rage Blade or not. She skills a lot better with AP than she did in the past. It might be like, I think naturally might be better than Ginsu's, but I'm not entirely sure. It probably looks something like this, or I don't know, like that. I'm not sure which is better between Ginsu's and Nashor's on this version of Cassio, but yeah. And the third item sucks, and then that, and yeah, that's that version of Blight Angel, and that's about it. Corrupted Vamp up there, pretty much Warwick only. There's a couple units that are like okay with it, but even then it's not like crazy. Let's go to items. Artifacts. Who else doesn't get griefed by this? I guess Smolder. Olaf. Heck, these units are okay with it. Uh, Fiora, I'm a little iffy on. Briar is really good if you have a golden remover. You can do the tech like with Kane from last set, where after the first cast, you then put the item onto her, and then it actually works really well. But otherwise, okay, these units, Smolder would probably be good. Hecarim would be okay. Like Hecarim is like a proper trade-off where you are losing AoE, but you still get the charge passive. That's been buffed a couple times, so he still does like quite a lot. It's not bad, but the main comp for sure I would lean towards is Warwick. I feel like that's like uh without a doubt the best comp. You can look by placements here, like with like this unit's a beast. So how do you play Warwick with Corrupt Fram Scepter? One, you roll him, but two, I think the best variation is Frost, just because the way Warwick scales, he scales with AD and AP, but also the way Corrupt Vamp Scepter works is that it also scales with the amount of AD you have. If you don't have AD, this isn't doing that much, so you need sources of AD. So the items you want on Warwick is probably going to be Corrupt Vamp Scepter. You're gonna have Frost for this AD and AP. Just all these things. And you can put in like a Vanguard, because Warwick is your main carry here. So that. Please say that. And then the items you're looking for, you need QSS, and then you probably need like this. You can also take this. Doesn't matter that much. But you're getting a good amount of attack speed from these two sources and his passive, so I don't think this is that needed anymore. Actually, let me verify here. I mean, this isn't always. Yeah, they have Ginsu's. I don't know if you need Ginsu's. You do need QSS though. I would probably say that the best option is this. With the Titans revert, where it now gives the same amount of AP as it did AD, which they took away last set, but they gave it back this patch. It might be Titans, just because this makes him heal more from his passive, and it also gives him the AD and gets more frost. Yeah. And you're just playing this just like this. Main tank items on to Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is pretty important because this unit stalls for a long time and Warwick needs time to get kills. These other units aren't necessarily going to kill steal a lot early unless you have like Warwick 1, like with like nothing. But even with Manshap there, he's more likely to get the kills that he needs to stack. So, well, as for what's his BIS, not entirely sure. Uh, Without Frostbat, it's probably like this maybe. Actually, no, it's probably this. I mean, you're looking for stuff that isn't like, hmm, it's an armor and cloak. But yeah, this is probably fine. Like this, and then random stuff on this champion. I mean, he already sunders. How much does it sunder? I think it's 20%. Not like that's bad, but I don't know. It's just random stuff on that. And then this thing, like these two units are probably more worth itemizing than Twitch. He's like still not that like he's a very good item holder, but as a main carry, he's not that good. For these units, yeah, I guess I'd say for this thing is this. And it's +1. He can use this pretty well. Uh can also be that this. And then this one wants something like this. With Frost, maybe it's like this. Again, this one's also like up in the air, but I do think for sure the Frost variation is the best variation to play Warwick with. Uh, because like I said, Vanguard isn't going to scale the damage onto Warwick, so like it'll give him more time, but at the same time, Warwick is a one cost front like melee unit. He has a very hard time like killing everything. He'll be targeted by backline pretty easily once he starts killing stuff. He starts like wrapping, so it's better to have him. You want the round to go faster, pretty much, and this gives a lot of stats that helps him. And you have the pseudo frontline from the statues, so that's also good. That's Defiance. This one's another like you can kind of play it wherever. There's a lot of good users. I actually want to look at the stats here again because I'm actually not sure what the best comp is, but there's a lot of like really good users. A lot of the hero augments use this really well, but you can't reliably hit those. Let's just sort by this. I passed it, but makes it easier. Alpha Delta, which is how much better this makes the unit. Hacker Room, that makes sense. This unit is insane. This item gives him pretty much everything he wants because he doesn't need that much damage, but he needs like just like everything else. Like this unit has damage, but It gives him like a little bit of stats, but it gives him defenses and it gives him stall and it heals him. I didn't say that it heals him, but yeah. So, and then what else? Diana, fair enough, I guess. Briar, like you're just playing around with the units. These units, I'm kind of surprised about Camille, honestly, but I mean, I guess it's relative delta. So, in terms of like what Camille actually wants, like there's other units that would need this item more. Camille's kind of just good with everything. Yeah, the main right now in this patch, the comp I would look at is Hecarim, like indeed. Uh, Vertical multi striker. You're not necessarily like if you're not contested, you go for 3-star. If you're contested, which you might be, it's pretty. I mean, this was kind of underrated last patch, but this patch people are gonna play it for sure. You don't have to 3-star him if he's contested. I think it's more important to go vertical multi striker. I explained this in a previous video, but it is more important to hit 7 multi striker than it is to hit Hecarim 3. That said, if you have the means to hit Hecarim 3, do so. You should always hold Hecarims in case you do hit it 3. But if it's not very likely, you do want to go level 8 and try to hit Camille. Or with the frying pans, you can make multi trigger stat or emblem. Okay, it's called emblem, not called pan. But these are just another emblems. I feel like weren't these called spats at one point? Which have spatula. Were they always switched to emblems? I don't know. But we have this. Just put it on whoever. The comp you play would be just this. And add more Arcana if you can. You have a spat, you can drop someone like Ash. Uh, yeah. I mean, it'd probably be better on this, but I don't think you have a choice to. Like, you should just put this on whoever you can, and Chen's the earliest thing you can put it in. What other Hecarim items? It's like I said, Hecarim doesn't really need damage, especially if you have Arcana in. Like, until you have second 7 multi-striker in, you'll probably have like 2 or 3 Arcana in, so he'll have AD from that. And he gets bonus from the charge in his passive, and from multi-striker. Multi-striker also gives him healing if you hit 7. That's one of the reasons why it's really important. Hecarim applies that in an AoE, so it's really good. Like, with Death Defiance, you don't need healing, so it's probably something like this. This can be fine. It's a little bit of it's AD, but I'm not sure if you really need that. I've had success without any AD items, and Hecarim still does a ton of damage. You kind of just slam whatever. I think, like, I don't think Hecarim is that picky. I think the closest thing to like a BIS item is Edge of Night, just because it's just a layer of protection. He'll heal back up, so there's good synergy there. I think close items are a bit more important. You want at least a Ginsu's. Probably this thing too. After that, it's up to you. If you have enough bows, you can place that. I've unironically seen Morello. It's not even that bad. Not that I mean it's not like ideal, but it's not that bad. Uh, but you can also get like Sunfire and put it on someone else for your anti-heal. But yeah, you're just trying to you want this in multi-striker, you want to play around tempo and you want to slam items as much as possible. Even if they're not optimal. Like the only like I said okay, I explained this in a previous video, but this is like kind of the only thing that matters. And if you play this, like you already have like a good core. Like it doesn't really matter what you play here. You can put like I've done this thing before. It's like not even terrible. Uh just any kind of bruiser item. Like you can do that. Like it doesn't matter. Just make whatever you can. Like you just want to play 8 or play for level 8. Alright. DFG. Kind of an awkward item because if you look at it, it's like kind of a death cap but worse. Like if you actually like look at the difference between this and death cap, like it's kind of sad. You have same amount of AP. Death cap, I mean, it's not going to show here for some reason, but it's 20% damage amp just all the time, whereas here it's 25% damage amp against the current for the first 10 seconds, and against a specific target it's 35. And then it blasts the current target for percent of the max health. It's better against a single like tank, but like I guess specifically it's good against like these like Vexes and Wukong 3s. Wukong 3 is not even like that strong anymore, but it's for when they do this. You have your random Vex 3, or random something solo frontline. That's when it's like actually good. But otherwise, you kind of just treat this like a death cap. What units want death cap? Most. Maybe units. Look at the stats here. Is there any standouts with this item? It's just high costs. Vagar is okay. He likes AP a lot, and this helps him get through the main tank. So not bad. I would not trust it on Xerath for eyes. Uh, it they don't reliably hit their main target, like a single target. I'm surprised the stats on Nora are this bad though. That one's a little weird. Yeah, I would say Gwen is probably a pretty good user, just because he or she like wants to kill something and try to wrap around backline or wrap two backline. However, I would not lean Gwen with this. I'd probably lean like Mage with Vagar, and then you just play blue buff and Nashers. I like this. In this comp, everyone has seen before. Another thing to consider though is that Mage is craftable now. That's another change that's happened. Let's take a look here. Oh, they did not like. I mean, it got nerfed. It did get nerfed. Do I still lean this? Is Gwen better? Is the question. It might be actually. I think about it. You're playing this vertical now. Interesting. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it is just play on Gwen. I think it's the item is better on her, and the comp is better. So I feel like telling people to play something else is kind of trolling. And just play Preserver, and then random other stuff. warrior version versus. I mean, I think this version is better, so you just play Karma. Right. On that, you slam the random things. On this, uh, properly itemizing Gwen would probably be like with only two warriors, probably this. There's a world where it's I don't. What does that say? No, I don't like that. It likes TG because I mean, Gwen isn't super reliable, but Spark. Oh, it likes Gunblade for some reason. Don't know why that is. Not BT. I guess maybe because you have extra rods in this comp. Yeah, but I mean that makes sense. It's a better use of a rod. But I mean, I think this is fine. It helps Karma, so it's probably better anyway. Honestly, is that better on Karma? Oh wait, oh it doesn't show. I want to go all the way to Explorer. I guess we're going to Explorer. Uh, Fiora, and items this to. Oh, this one makes sense. Oh, I'm looking at artifacts, but I'm not looking at. Oh, that's interesting. Better than on Gwen. That's interesting. I scrap all that and do this. All right, fair enough. I guess the rationale is you help get through your one thing, and then uh yeah, like you just Karma just helps. Like Karma needs help dealing with like main tanks. Like it just speeds up the game, whereas Gwen is like not reliable, I guess. Plus the actual damage amp is like because like you would want to put a death cap on Karma anyway. I guess that's the closest thing. And then this just wants like these items, and then Rakan just wants like your tank items. And this one's TG. And this one's I don't know, it's just whatever. But yeah, I mean, this comp is very strong, so lean towards it with whatever you can. There's a lot of things that are going to work with this. BFG is one of them. Yep. Eternal Winter. Again, kind of versatile. There's a missing exception in that people think you have to main tank, or you have to solo tank, solo frontline this to get value. But the thing is, the actual defensive value isn't like that high, and it's works on any kind of damage, not specifically auto attacks. So AoE applies this, and yeah, it's kind of hard to say like where the best application is. I think there's one interaction that isn't really considered, which is that Tarek's redirect makes this pretty valuable. He'll redirect projectiles, so that works pretty nice. I can check the stats and see if it supports that. We can look at actual delta, and we can look at relative delta. Uh, kind of the same. I guess the variance is based on comp strength, so it's kind of up to you. But I think this interaction is pretty cool, and vertical portal is pretty strong, so you can just play that. But yeah, yeah, like this is perfectly fine to play, and just give them items. And the thing is, he'll redirect projectiles, so it'll proc more often. So I feel like it has a lot of merit being on Tark. But you can play Tark in other versions of other comps too. So I mean, Portal, everyone knows. There's uh like the this like the flex board. What do you play on this board? See, did they have it here? That's the Witchcraft version. They have the other version. Probably not. Okay, there's the Arcana version, which is just you play all the Arcana. Play Nora. What am I missing? What am I missing? Have people hit Nami into this board? Is it Galio? Yeah, maybe that. Still don't have Mage. I don't know, man. But okay, actually, that's you can probably play like hmm, maybe not anymore with the fairy change, but I feel like removing Dan is incorrect. Does that mean you play on something else? Maybe I don't know. Here's the witchcraft variation. It's kind of all the same. It's a universal tank item. Fish bones. Uh, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how it works with. Has this changed? Like, a cluster binding. I don't know because they changed this targeting, but I don't really know how much it changed as to whether Varus is better or not. Like, I would default. Yeah, like I feel like it's you just default Kog'Maw. And this board has changed a little bit. Because I think Hunter has a bit more value now than it did in the past. I'm gonna put something like this. If you get that for free, you might as well. But the main thing is that Cog's ability will hit everything. Like, if it hits a random backliner, it'll hit everything in a line, so it'll hit, like, the entire front line and the targets. So it's just really good on Kog'Maw. And then otherwise, you're probably looking for something like this. I think that people have kind of figured out the best main thing is probably Rumble. You just play like that. Yeah, if you can 3-star Jinx, you should, but you're not very close. Don't bother. I shouldn't tell people to do this. And then do that. Well, Lux is a lot better of a secondary carry than he was before. Honestly, something like what's this? Probably pretty good. But yeah, I think this is the best version of or the best comp to play with this item, like by far. Brookman Idol. Which one's this? This is the shield one. I think the best user is either you or you. I think these are the best users. Maybe you're still okay. What does that say actually? There's like a lot of like good theoretical users. No, I got all of them. But yeah, it's good in reroll because it's easier to scale the real. Yeah, Wukong's just not very good anymore. Vex apparently not either. Unlucky patch for it. Mordekaiser. It's Blitzcrank, I think. I think the easiest comp to play right now that you can use this on is just to play Vertical Honeymancy with uh Arcana. And then you make sure to play around the gap. You want to leave a gap so that Ziggs can snipe backline. What this will do is it'll force units to kind of move. Alright, let's look at some like so it'll cause Lilia to like go here. Oh, like it'll leave an opening so that It'll cause that so that Ziggs can hit this corner unit with that line. So yeah, and then the opposite. You want to put Ziggs in the third hex on either side. So if you want to go for this gap, same thing. Right? I mean, it's not the same thing, but and then similarly, you have this, and it hits that corner. As for items, you want. Well, okay, you just not okay, not everything, but the 1 and 2 cost Conjurancies. This goes on Blitzkrieg, it's your main tank. And then apart from that, just this. I'm pretty sure this is the clear BIS if you have Britton Idol, apart from other artifacts, because the healthy gain kind of outscales the Warmogs, so you want healing, and this heals for more, and then defenses, because he needs defenses. And then for Ziggs, you just want mana item, damage amplifier. You're getting AP from Arcana. You're gonna use Arcana on Ari, and that gives AP. So you don't need to go stuff like that cap. You just want like amplifiers. So something like this. I see people go like anti-heal. I don't think you need it. At least not on the Ziggs. I think it's like fine on like Kog'Maw, for instance. But yeah, it's just amplifiers. I mean, I would personally go for something like this. And you want to play around 5 Honeymancy. You want to roll in 5, you just hit 5 Honeymancy. And then as you hit Ziggs and Blitzcrank, you go 6. Like, you slowly add in more kind of. You can kind of pivot around Kog'Maw carry if you don't hit Ziggs. Like, if you're not hitting any Ziggs, but you're hitting a lot of Kog'Maw, so you can look for AD items and you can kind of carry Kog'Maw instead. But yeah, I feel like this is one of the best artifacts for the comp, so I feel like you should play that. Gambler's Blade. Uh, People played Cassio. I'm not sure how that changed with the rework. Does the rework like Gambler's Blade on Cassio? It does. Not like by a large margin, but like like Rise. I mean, okay. It looks to be Cassio. Decent placement. So the board you'd play Cassio in is probably the same as the one I showed before, which is the just shapeshifter Cassio. Just play around this early. Probably main tank this. This one's this, and then well, it's like Cassio skills better with AP, so I'm not sure what the third. Like it's probably something like this, and then short. Just reroll this, and then you cap out with more of anything, more shapeshifter. If you can get to 6. I mean, okay, you first start by 6, But if you can get to 8, that's not bad either. But you can also play around Incanter. This isn't bad either. Just pick one. Just pick something. I guess probably Shapeshifter. And yeah. But the Cassia rework, feels less with attack speed because she's not trying. She doesn't need to fit as many autos as she did in, but like before she had like a limited window to do more damage, whereas here it's the same every time. So this is like more like Volley Bear from last set, whereas he didn't need attack speed because he's gonna get it's 3 autos anyway, and then he does this thing. Cassio isn't like gonna get the 3 autos regardless, and then he'll just move on to the next cast. So because of that, Ginsus would make it so that there's like more like you use the autos faster and you start casting faster, but at the same like I think scaling AP is probably more valuable than scaling attack speed. Actually, I am very curious. Let's look at Casio 3. Mm. Oh, still likes Ginsus more than Nashers. Okay. Bigger sample size too. How does it like a how does it like AP? Oh, likes it less. How does or shapeshifter change anything? Better against his prio. 6 shape. Yeah, I guess it still likes attack speed more than it likes AP. Cam, Player's Blade, Casio. No data. Unlucky. Stats have spoken. Kind of makes some sense. Sure. So yeah, with Gambler's Blade, you're looking for something like this. Average is like a 3.8. Pretty good. Collector, pretty versatile. Is there I don't think so. It's got like minor anti-synergy with Pyro, but otherwise like it's fine on just anyone. I mean, I guess like the best user probably Jinx for the reason it helps her reset better. So we pair this with like this and this. Pretty good combo. And then Jinx comp. Do you still play it with Wukong? Because Jinx is strong, but Wukong is nerfed. Yeah, I feel like you don't play it with Wukong anymore. It might just be Vanguard. Ooh. How does this ever with that combo? Oh, I got your Jinx. Okay, well, I think either way, it's a Vanguard frontline. So, what do they have on this? They're like kind of weird. Yeah, this is the Jinx version. And then the Blaster version. I don't know if you guys can pick up the rain right now, but that's the best version of that comp. I'm sure if it is. I don't, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You just play 4 and 4, right? Wait, what? Arcana? Yeah, that seems fine to me. Oh wait, they get that for free on 8. I prefer another frontliner. I'm missing a Vanguard. Okay, it's there. This is just Frost, and then you add like this. I mean, I don't hate the sound of that. I don't hate the sound of that at all. But you're staying on this board. This is the core. And whoops. Here's the blaster variation, which also works fine. But the point, like, either way, I think playing that with vanguards is actually another option is Hack Room, because this helps them resets. And Hacker items aren't picky, so like you can just like that's not bad either. The AoEs, like this actually probably is what did the stats like it or not? The stats do not know. That's more interesting. I feel like this is another thing you can play, and again you play it in the same composition. Maybe do something like that. Because yeah, Techram can reset better, and that's pretty good. Yeah. It has better opportunity because it's also AoE, and then oh, it's not taking down a current target, but still, it's fine. Like, it'll help them a bit. And Hackram also is going to kill a lot of units, so you'll be farming a lot of gold. So that's perfectly fine. It just depends on what kind of opener you have. Horizon Focus. Okay, between these units, who else is like not fraudulent here? I guess you're not that fraudulent. But that's not super worth going. So yeah, and there's a lot of comps you can play with either of these. Something can be played with Honeymancy, can be played with Vanguard, can be played in other Arcana variations. And Briar can be played in the normal board that everyone plays there. I think Briar's like not super reliable. Like realistically, you just play some random thing. So like the transition into Briar, you just put this on this before, and then until you hit. Like you're just gonna work your way up to whatever thing. So over here, we're looking for UCC. Yeah, like you're just gonna work your way up, and then you try to land on whatever unit is gonna end up on your current board. So you can look to play around. I wouldn't keep it on these. Like I said, any Vanguard variation, any Arcana variation, Briar in the Preserver board. You can play it with Vertical Shapeshifter if you want. But yeah, I think something like this. Probably your best bet. And if you're playing around the 5 cost, you play this version. But yeah, the point of this is that the combo with Varus can be really strong because Briar can see a lot of units and then Varus can finish them all off. But yeah, this is a decent board to work up to. But like I said, the other variations of the comp can other Briar variations exist. Like, you can always come back to this thing. This works. Ultra short. No idea, honestly. Uh, I personally just do not like this item very much. I'm not sure who would be best on. Like, I think you can play this in quite literally any comp, and it'd be fine. Play this with Fundamancy, with Vanguard, with Mage, with this thing. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's pretty universal. And like what it is, like if you meet the condition, it's like a Warmogs plus it's got some armor MR. So it's actually, I mean, actually it's a decent amount, actually. You kind of get something equivalent to like a Warmogs plus a like an adaptive. It's like maybe 3/4 of each, or like 2/3 of each. I mean, the extra attack speed means something. It's kind of like the mana regen. Yeah, I guess I could start doing like I'd say Hulk Crusher is about like 2/3 of both of these items, or maybe 3/4. So I don't know. But it's having like both of those together. Triforce pretty universal as well. Uh, so what are the go-to comps right now? This honestly, this is kind of decent. Yeah, I think this is about it in terms of the people that use it the best. Let's verify. 5 costs Ezreal is the decent user. Hecarim, yeah. And these are played in their respective comps. Kog'Maw I showed earlier. Hecarim I showed multiple times. Fiora I showed multiple times. Ezreal I already showed. And Olaf is just you just play Frost. Play on this. Can also try Force the Varus, but I think it's better on the Olaf because he uses AP better. And then like in the past, Olaf gets like something like this. Like you can build him defensively. He's getting a lot of stats from Hunter and Frost. So yeah. If you don't have a spat, just play this and you can throw in like a random Nora buff put on some of them, some of these units. Something like that. Generating Locket. This one is, I mean, this one's very good. I like this item a lot. Ones I'd look for would probably be also the champions that you would solo frontline. I'm not so sure about this one, but So hero augments. I'll talk about. I mean, if you get this on most of the hero augments, let's do this first. Which ones would it be bad on? And actually, it's just kind of the tank ones. But yeah, you get Spider Queen, Zap Attack, Sweet Tooth. Very great. Assuming you don't hit that though, you can kind of play it in a lot of comps. Um, I think it's best on shielders because they're eh, like it's healing and healing. It's healing for units that don't normally heal, which is the rationale. But you're mana locked, so maybe not. I think out of all of these, I like Mord the best, just because he casts frequently. Like I said, you play this with either of these, or even this if you want to. Wait, I'm forgetting about Vex. I think even in stats, or it's gonna look bad in stats, but it works with double cast. I'm pretty sure. Stats are gonna say that it's best on 5 costs, which I mean, it'll always do that. But I guess you can play this on whoever you want, pretty much. I can't think of an example of a unit it would be bad on. Yeah, and any of these are good. Lich Bane is still pretty much a Zoe item, which isn't that bad. Can also go on Karma, on Vagar, play. Any of these. You play in Blaster Reroll with Vanguard. Karma you play in whatever comp you want. Uh, Preserver Karma variants. Vagar you play in Vertical Mage, or you can play in Honeymancy. Um, it's probably better than Honeymancy. And then Zoe, you can still play it around like you play the same board as before, but you're going back to like if you specifically have Lich Bane, uh, Zoe like is the one you're itemizing. Ari has like her own like quirks, but she's less of a proper carry now, more of a utility unit that can scale a little bit. Does anyone play this comp? Yeah, I figured. It's like probably this. However, in this patch, Ari is a little less important because she's a little weak right now. Not bad, but like she's a bit weak. Like I'd maybe consider doing stuff like that instead. Cast. Well, they don't. This doesn't hit backline, so maybe it's just like that. And you play something like this. That's probably just how you play Zoe now. White Shield Crest. Yeah, this item is. You just. The thing is, it's weird. It has good enough base stats, I guess. How does it compare to so it's Gargoyle if you're being targeted by at least or 2 units, but it also has the shield. Like the shield isn't like that crazy. I would have to guess it's something like this, like the actual best use. I think Wukong is a good user. Like you can play it and whatever, but I think Wukong's a good user because he gets the starting amount. So the shielding that you provide will be a bit higher with him. But realistically, like so this is a variation of the Hunter comp that you can play with this specifically. But like Vanguard, they have like their passive. So it's like honestly, it's probably correct to play Vanguard actually. If you're not gonna opt to play around the other thing. Alright, I already have this thing. And you can put this on main tank. It kind of replaces Gargoyle. And this works because it triggers passive and it's like a little bit more value than on other comps. Otherwise, like you just kind of treat this as like a gargoyle. Ludens, this one's annoying. So there are good users of it, but they're not like common. You have like hero augments, like that. Or any of the other ones. Galio works. Despite what people. For this, I'll refer to stats. Pretty sure it's good on Ziggs. Because you can kind of min-max it where he has just not enough damage to kill, but then on the next cast, it triggers Ludens. Nora, that doesn't really make sense. Because it's a dot. Gwen, I'm also not sure about. Varus kind of is a decent option. Look, a lot of these don't make a lot of sense. Because this is a damage over time. So, not really sure. They killed Ari using this, so I wouldn't say it's her. I'd probably look at Varus. I like as the forecast. I think Varus is probably your best bet, and you just want to overkill. Like you just want as much damage on the cast as possible. But oh yeah, if you play 5 costs, it's good on them too. When Ludens is like, it's just a very weird item because not a lot of units use it well. Another thing to consider is that it's a source of both AD and AP. So there are a couple units like Olaf that can use that decently well. The problem is that Olaf's traits give him both of those, so it's like that needed. Are there how many hybrid scalers are there? That's not a lot. Why is Camille not here? I mean, the problem is that people think that it's like only an AP item when it's not. You're just looking for any, like, literally any ability-based carry that doesn't split their damage. I guess Xerath splits his damage, but I mean, Xerath is just kind of good, whereas Ryze splits his damage too much. I think it's the reason why stats like the 5 costs is because at the point of the game where you have 5 costs, fights snowball a lot harder. So you can like more like a lot of these you're a lot more set up to 100-0 champions. Like you can just straight up one shot with Camille, one shot with Diana, one shot with Xerath. So, but I'd say Ludens is you can play whatever you want, or anything you want that's ability based. Mana Zane, uh, lots of good users. This thing, or this thing. I don't know. Sure. Uh, one stacks now. Is Sinja playable with this? It's uh, oh, I forgot about this menace. Ari, that kind of makes sense. Diana, Azrael, kind of makes sense. Yeah, I would lean towards some of these. Doesn't like Varus very much. Actually, it makes sense that okay, Ziggs is the best user because if you put him in the pocket and he starts hitting the backline, the window it needed to start like for this stuff to move and block the like he has like a really good opportunity to kill the backline. That makes sense. Sure, I guess people go that. Yeah, it's the same. Like you just play this Honeymancy with Arcana, but with Manazane, you hit the backline, and there's a lot less time needed to kill the whatever backliner you're targeting. So it works out, I guess. That makes sense. That that's very much like that. But otherwise, like I said before, it's not bad on Gwen. If you hit 5 costs, it's good. You don't play around Way. Way is pretty good right now. Uh, can also go on Ezreal if you want. Yeah. 5 costs. Like stats wise, it favors that, but stats will always favor 5 costs. Middens, play Smolder with the shapeshifters. I think most people are familiar with this one. This is a stable comp. Other decent options. Cassidon is playable. Uh, like he's rerollable. He's not super contested, and you play him in the same Cassidon reroll comp as always. Same board as always. Play this. This kind of replaces Ginsu's for healing for that. Or something like that. Alternate scaling to your attack speed. Because you get healing. You can also play Warwick. Pretty good option. Play Warwick in the you play it with the same comp as Vantep there, but instead of QSS you take like this thing and play this thing. And then similarly you can play Olaf in the same comp. Like you play yeah, like in the same circumstances you could if you just get the minions later you can put it on Olaf. Yeah. But you can like what's good is that you can use either of these as item holders for Smolder. Like you just play Shapeshifter and then just play your one guy. And you can slam some other items onto here. So this like that works. Or you have and that way you have options. Whereas if you don't hit your thing, you can like if you're in a stage 3 and you only have like either you're stuck on 1 star or you only have 3 Cassidins. If you don't hit, you could just push levels for Smolder. So it's an alternate path. Moguls was a Wukong double Gargoyles item. It's still playable. Like you're still gonna like the thing is Moguls is nerfed, and Wukong's rework is also a nerf for like this playstyle. But early on, you could still farm a decent amount of gold. And otherwise, like you just look like you're more looking for an item synergy than with Wukong. I mean, because like Wukong is, I mean, early on he's better. So like it's better for snowballing, like or like building up tempo, gold. It's just that now it's like this isn't the only build now, pretty much. And like it's like everything they on this patch is worse than this was last patch. But I mean, like you're just looking for item synergy. You're just looking for whatever item slam you can make. And if you hit like a random poppy two, and you have like a random this thing, not bad. Even like this is fine. Like you just want to like the primary purpose of this item is to build up a lot of gold early. So that much has not changed. Prowler's Fall. Um, I'm not sure beyond those. And I guess it's okay on this. I think stats still don't like these, but I'll check it out. I'm not sure if that's like, let's look. Hero Augment Poppy. That makes sense. Briar. Fair enough. That's not reliable. I like the reliable thing is to play Hacker Room. Because he's just gonna reset. On this, on on this, you want to use the critical strike damage. Your autos can innately crit, so you don't need IE, but you want to have some more crit chance to make that more likely. Because you want to like you're gonna have a lot of uptime with your like resets. So having more crit is good because you reset faster. So as a result, I think QSS is pretty good because it's probably like the second best item on the Hecarim anyway. But like I think it's better than Edge of Night in this case because it gives you crits. So you're more likely to use this and you're more likely to snowball. And then another thing is like if multi-striker procs, like you use the things instantly, so like it's a lot of burst. Like I feel like it's very like this is the best default by far. I wouldn't consider any other comp. Like if you like really miss, you can play Briar, but like the stats verify this. Like all these other like putting it on all these other units is pretty fake. Like Olaf is probably acceptable, but finding a spot for Olaf in general is a little harder. For Attack Room 2, you can just fast 9 with that. So I think any opportunity to pack Hacker Room right now should be taken because I think it's the best comp, but I don't think people realize like how much better it is than of the other comps right now. RFC, pretty universal. Uh, I like it on Warwick. It's not super necessary on like ranged for the most part. Because a lot of the range interactions don't really work out like that. Is it good on new Varus or no or not? Not really. Well, I guess Briar makes sense. Oh, yeah, it's like kind of whatever. I guess Cassidon's okay, but Cassidon is not that strong. The best thing to force would probably be this, and it's just the same comp as before. It's worse than Vampceptor. Uh, it's probably better than Middens though, but yeah. And you're looking for this and this. Pretty good. And you can just place them right here behind your Blitzcrank. Seekers. Mm, Len, Cassidon, Cat. Hero augments. Yeah, I mean, I guess that one. Maybe the new Shen Hero augments. I'm trying to think realistically. Yeah, like if you can get them, it's fine. But I would lean towards these, which is more realistic. Cassidon comp I showed. One comp I showed. Katarina comp I have not shown. But first let's get the items. Right. And you want like this. And then what Katarina wants. And well, we'll just more healing. And that. This will give her the AP that she needs. Actually, she gets this thing. Yep. So the way the new fairy comp works, just playing the vertical. Place on fairy. Throw in this and this. You get multi-checker, you're playing around uh cluster cat. And then your other one's going cluster or now we're gone. Trying to get the other one. And if you have a +1, just put this on that. Play like this. Tristana, as a flex unit, can be placed in the second row if you want to uh, deal with a particular frontliner. You want stuff to retarget. It's a pretty good idea to do. Otherwise, you can just put it back here. But like I showcased this before. Where's the full board? But you can use this to redirect your cat by like Tristana will ult and you'll knock back the target. So you can use that to if they have something really annoying. Like one of these. Like that's especially countered, but I mean you can just put this you just want to try to target the main tank usually. Helps a lot. Because if they're not targeting the main tank, like pretty much anything is better to target than the main tank. The only exception would be something that infinitely scales, but there's very few instances of that. So yeah, I mean yeah, this is the cat board. Honestly, I think this board is very strong. Like just period without the artifact. But Seekers is very good on cats because Fairy gives a lot of health. Like let's look at what cat's getting. It's getting AP, RMMR. You're getting like 600 health from Fairy, which works really well with the RMMR. The only source of that you're getting is from the Bastion, which isn't a lot. It's 10. So it scales really well together, and then Cat just becomes like unkillable. And because you're only playing 2 warrior, you don't heal that much, so more healing is better. You're getting more damage here, and you're getting damage amp from here. So it's pretty good. Silvermere. I had a whole lecture, and I finally convinced people that this was OP way before Hecarim was even meta, but now Hecarim is meta, and this thing is very OP. The reason being is multi-striker ignores the attack speed cap because like his attack speed's 0.5, but like if he procs multi-striker, he still gets the 3 autos. And it kind of just goes off. And the thing is, if it does proc, he's just killing anything around him, like pretty much guaranteed. Another thing is that his passive is a reset. It's an auto reset. So if he kills something, he's gonna attack again anyways with the charge, and the charge can just keep going. Like a lot of the time, he just only kills with the charge. But that's all you need. Alternatively, you can play around. Okay, one is hero augments. It's the same thing. Uh, yeah, you don't need a lot of AD. This gives you 165 AD. You don't need more AD for the most part. You want amplifiers. If you want a more aggressive option, you can go like this crit. That's a better amplifier. It actually works with the AD that you're getting. But like I see people go like these items, but you don't need those. Sylvanmere Dawn is like 3 Titans or it's like 2.5 titans. I don't know. It's just it's a really good. And then lastly, Fiora. This one's like a little iffy. The stats help her survive, and as long as she casts, she'll basically heal to full and like she'll one shot stuff. So like you're just kind of hoping that she gets enough mana from being autoed by other stuff that she can cast and then full heal and one shot stuff. Because of that, you're probably just looking for like honestly like double healing or I guess that's maybe the same setup. You don't really want to lean into attack speed. This gives like I mean the power budget isn't that much attack speed, but I mean what else would work here? Like honestly, you can even go like more tank items. But yeah, or like it's probably I'd maybe lean double healing. Unless you have like if you're going 4 warrior, then maybe not. Go something a little bit more utility. I'm trying to think like what would actually be a good combo. Yeah. But the point is you don't need more AD with this item. This item's really good. Apart from that, I don't think any of these other units can use it well. There aren't any good multi-strikers that use it well. Olaf loses, like, yeah, like, you can't. If there's a condition, like Hecarim, like I said, you can ignore attack speed to proc this condition, but, uh, like, you have to, I mean, I guess me when changing targets, when you kill a target, what's the scaling? 180, what's... Okay, there is a world where Sylvan Olaf is fine, but you pretty much have to set him up in a way where he is going to one shot whatever he's hitting. Because if not, if he gets stuck, like he's kind of screwed. So because I think you like all in on crit damage. No, I think you go this. And you just hope for the best that he's just gonna one shot. Like his thing, I'll do like 1500 damage, and he just jumps and kills enough units, not be punished. He gets the mana from being hit. He gets marginal attack speed, but he gets healing. That's probably. I mean, I would not play this over Fior or Hecarim, but that's an option that might be explored more in the future. Snipers. Um, I think that's another just like pretty universal one. You want to like prioritize um like stuff that doesn't already have damage amp. So like blasters already have damage amp. So like sniper's focus is like a little wasted. Same thing with warrior. Not that it applies much to warrior. Um, like it's still fine on like these units. Like their kits use it well. The problem is just blaster already gives them damage amp, so they don't really need it. But I mean, you can play Cluster, this. You can play this. You can play that, or like the hero augments. Like you can play pretty much anything. Is there anything secret in the stats or not? I don't think there would be. I forgot about Ziggs, Nomsy. Twitch is interesting. Okay, so a lot of what I said. Okay, so I guess lean more towards Hunter, I Incanter, Honeymancy. So Honeymancy is like it's not damage amp, it's a separate modifier. So that's yeah, that makes sense. And like if he hits the back, oh like yeah, actually that's probably pretty good. Yeah, I guess what I'd lean towards most would be one of these three. Just because with this, Ziggs should just be able to one-shot backline. And then Kog'Maw is just underrated right now. And then Karma is just strong right now, but people know that one. I do think as meta settles and people realize how strong, yeah, it's kind of falling. But yeah, this is probably the best things to force are probably those. Spectral Cutlass. You're looking for a quick assassination, but as for what that'll be, I'm not sure. Is this good on Hecarim? It's probably good on Hecarim, right? Like I have to check. Yeah, literally no one plays this. Briar, Camille, Hecarim. Oh, it's Hecarim. Good enough for me. And this is kind of like a Edge of Night. So you just play some, try to pick off backline carry. Yeah. Otherwise the board is the same. It's just 7 multi-checker. Suspicious Transcoat. Uh Universal utility item. Oh, I mean, is there better like the CC units? The best holders are probably just like these, just because Tom Kemp CCs a lot. Nasus' ability gives him a lot of health, so if the mini Nasus is cast, they basically become a normal Nasus. So apart from that, even on stuff like this, like Rakan shields allies, so it's like they just shield each other. But I wouldn't put this on the backliner though. Yeah. Another thing is to look at like interactions with like items. So you can get like the protected style just works great because they proc at like not the same condition. So each of the little ones are going to proc are going to have a protector's route that'll work, and they have like the mana and stuff. Uh, redemption, they can heal each other. I guess we'll use this as an example where you have your 30 time catches after the thing procs. They'll have redemption and then they all heal each other. Uh, same thing works with like this. This can proc multiple times. Sunfire, not so much because it's like a status condition. It's not like a proc. So if they're burned, they're not going to be like triple burned. They're just you can just burn more units. But this one works. Bramble Vest. I don't. I mean, Hurricane works, but that the Hurricane and Shiv work, but you wouldn't really put them on frontline units, or at least not these. I mean, you can find a way for this to work, but like, what unit would you have to put it on to get there? Like Olaf, maybe. That's like probably the only thing I can think of. Yeah. Talisman, honestly, just not a very good item, just because it uh takes too long. If you can get it on the hero augment where they're already going to be a menace, it'll make them into more of a menace. But otherwise, it's probably best on backliners, just because frontliners will likely die. Hmm. I guess. Okay, I mean, it's like partially correct, partially incorrect. For some reason, this performs well on Gwen. I mean, I guess it's just good on, like, yeah, it's just good on expensive units. Play like backliners like Karma Rise. I, what's the reasoning here? Okay, Morgana. What's the? I mean, I don't know what the reasoning is there. I am doing all right. All right. Everything is going right. I'm almost finished up here. Trickster's Glass. I'm looking for crowd control units. I don't know what else. I guess something melee would work. I stream when I can. I don't often have a lot of time. I like to stream more, not daily, but when I can, I'm kind of shifting streaming schedule to just planning around whatever content ideas I have. It's kind of hard to reliably get stuff going, but right now, if I have an idea, I'll try to stream it when I have the time. I don't have a consistent schedule, so it's hard to cater stream towards that. Thank you. I'll check stats here again, because Strictest Glass is like okay on much anything. I'm from the United States. Nice. What part of Texas? I've been to most of the major cities there. It's hot, but it's dry, so it's not even that bad. Okay, this is an item you just chuck on pretty much any frontliner. Makes sense. Probably not the main tank. Just on a secondary tank. But you play it with like whatever. Like it's just any secondary tank. This doesn't scale super well with your main unit. It's probably like especially good on Tom Kench, who isn't going to be a main tank, but he has CC, so you get two of them. It's pretty good. South Texas Plains. I mean, I think this stream in particular is a bit of a boring one. That's just because of what kind of content I'm doing right now. in the future I'd have more interesting stuff going on. I just figured if I'm going to record this, I might as well do it publicly. That way I can answer questions. Okay. Another thing to spare is you're just forcing Blitzcrank. You can kind of force Mordekaiser too, but I think the only real contenders are these two. Yes, maybe I mean Vex just isn't good right now. And then Blitzcrank you just play and Unimancy Comp. Here's it. This thing. And this, I mean this is Blitzcrank's best item, so you should pretty much always play this comp if you have the means. And then with Mordekaiser. Same thing as the other Mord comp. And you just play like that. I'm not interested in looking for it. Anything else? What's end? What's end is okay. Those are straightforward. What's end anything with attack speed? For some reason I only found that one, but there's a lot of things I can play with this. Guess that. That doesn't work. But yeah, all these comps I've already showcased. Actually, I haven't showcased. Yeah, I mean, Galileo is just the hero ones, but everything else is the same. So, play Kog'Maw reroll. The Jinx any Jinx variation, not necessarily with Wukong anymore, but you play it with Mordekaiser. Kassadin's Kassadin, Cassio's Cassio. And yeah, this item's just good because it scales with procs. Like, you just apply a lot, and it's just a good item for damage. It doesn't really intrude with other builds. I guess if you need like specific item synergies, it's not like that good, but like a lot of these units don't really. I mean, I guess Jinx is probably like the worst user just because even though she gets the attack speed, she kind of wants like 80s energy. But even then, like, she's not even that picky because you can kind of fit it in as a third item. But like the rest of the units like don't really care what they get. Like Gaston's getting everything he wants. Casio gets everything she wants. Plus it heals both of them. Galio same boat. And Kog'Maw doesn't really care about what items he has. He just needs 3 items that make him do more damage. And lastly, Zonya's. We have Gwen, Katarina, Anna, this thing, Anzana. I guess hero augments. Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess Elise. I'm forgetting someone like Cassidy. It's pretty much everyone. I've already showcased. Is there anything remotely different? I guess item pairings. You just want this crown. Cassidin. This replaces actually nothing, but uh, looks like that. Uh, Elise wants health. This. That's Diana wants. Oh, I actually just dragged it all here. And something random like this. Gwen. Gwen would want something like this. And then Ron would want that. Morgana just kind of takes whatever she wants. Yeah, all of these played in comps I've already shown before. Dana, just any, you just put her in if you have items for her. And then all these comps already showed hero augments. And yeah, that's about it. Hopefully I covered everything. If not, I'll re-record. I'm gonna restream, but I'll re-record. And I'll add in any other tidbits. But I think that's everything. So yeah, and it's kind of good timing because I have to go soon anyway. So I'll call it there. I think tomorrow I'm probably going to stream some game. I don't know. I might just play ranked, but I have another game I might want to play if I find the desire amongst people I know to play it with me. So we'll see, we'll see. It should be interesting if it gets going. And if not, playing ranked is perfectly fine. Because this thing is not... I mean, okay, like, this is finally catching up, but, like, I can show just how broken this is. And this... Like, this should have been up here last patch, but people weren't playing it, and now people learned it. This took, like, a month for people to figure out, even though it's been broken the whole time. It takes one video of people playing in China for them to realize that, oh, you just pair Ari Arcana with any one cost reroll, and it's good. Seraphine Soraka is also like, it's the same thing, but people haven't played that one. I mean, maybe I can get some games of that. Get people to play it. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to call it for now. Good night, everyone. Not good night. I'm used to streaming at night. And goodbye, everyone.